let's say you came up with a hi-hat pattern, but you have the feeling, okay, there is something missing. I want to add a little bit more groove, a little bit more complexity, a little bit more movement, maybe a little bit more fuller sound. If this resonates with you, if you sometimes have the feeling you could add those kind of things to your hi-hat patterns, to your hi-hat sounds, I think you get some value out of this week's video, because in this week's video I want to share one simple tool that I like to use on my hi-hat patterns to spice them up, to make them a little bit more groove, to make them more complex sounding, but in a very simple way, I would say. So yeah, let's jump right in. But before we do so, I want to give you a gift, which is my 1 tool 10 preset pack from Ableton Live stock plugins. Basically, those are meant to be what I call inspirational triggers, so you can smack them on any kind of sound and experiment and get something different out of them. You can transform your sound, make them more complex, like we do in this week's video here on the hi-hats. And yeah, it's totally for free. If you like that, go and grab it. You can't lose anything. And before we start, sorry, I have another thing. If you want to know how I created those kind of hi-hats, or how you can make similar quick hi-hat patterns like I show you in this week's video, I link you the video from last week, because there I showed you how I made the patterns, the hi-hat patterns, in a very simple way. So if you use Ableton Live Suite, you are covered. My name is Silvano from roughingstudio.com, and I share weekly Rominimal production sessions on this week's video to hopefully inspire you along the way. And yeah, let's do this together. Let's jump in. Alright, so for this week's video I want to talk about how to add a little bit more groove to hi-hats, specifically hi-hats, maybe even claps. So I want to share my favorite tools to add a little bit more groove and stuff in a very simple way. And last week I shared how I created those hi-hats that you can hear in this track here. So first let's quickly listen to the track in a whole, as a whole. And so on, right? So this is basically just an idea, but that you see how they can work in context. Now let's have a listen to just the hi-hats. What I like to use is this little chain here. So this is the loop without processing, right? And here you get it with the processing. What does a really big change, I would say, is a filter delay. So this is the plane. I don't know, this dry wet is somehow weird, but we use the volume. What I like to use is maybe minus 1.4, maybe a little bit less. Play around with the left. What if we use maybe minus so maybe something like that. Right, so it can give a little bit more groove. Let's see if we can do similar, or if it also works on this channel here. Yeah, I think this works great here. It out. Yeah, on this actually it works great, I would say, because it's a little bit shorter. It really depends. This is more percussive kind of sound. Adds a lot of groove, I would say. Here I have a different setting going on, but still, you can see it here. I didn't delay anything here, but different settings. Which also work great. Delay time, second, third, and fifth. If I mute all of them, we get to this point here, to this result. Now it's on, right? Just one little filter delay plugin that can change a lot, I think, if you just use it. Those are basically just 3 simple hi-hat channels, right? Doesn't sound too exciting here, but with the filter delay, and if you pair it with a little bit of auto pan, let's see the others. This is not a loop, this is not doing anything, but here again. Here I also created some kind of groove with the threshold here, with the gate. It's got gated from this channel here, right? And with the threshold, I can control this a little bit with the gate, right? So those two interact with each other. Now I spice it even more up with this filter delay here. Sounds more like a shaker rather than a hi-hat. Auto pan, I like to use the amount, the shape, and here the LFO waveform. Very simple, right? So we have the gate, we have a filter delay, we have an auto pan. It's the clap actually. Yeah, and if we combine all of them, right, get the groove going on. And here, as a little bonus here, I also added this filter delay to the clap, as you can hear, followed by a small reverb. But also, what I want to talk about here is this little, I call it dry snappy clap, right? And what it is basically, it's a dynamic tube. So if I mute that, that's a clap. Really, it's not too exciting to my ears, I don't really like it, but with this, I get it really snappy, really grungy. The key is really to turn the envelope, yeah, quite a bit down, or up if you like that more. Actually like that as well. Drive it a little bit. you have a nice little clap. And by the way, I also use DS, it's drum synth from Ableton Live itself, and I layered the snare, sounds like this, with the clap, sounds like this, both together. Without this. Right, just to give it a little bit of another layer. And also what I did here on the on the hi-hats, I sent them to a reverb. Without the reverb, to give it a little bit more room, a little bit more space. And yeah, that's the whole thing, honestly. So the main driver is really filter delay, maybe auto pan, but the main driver is really filter delay. I hope you liked this video. Have fun experimenting with filter delay. Use it on every kind of thing, every kind of sound source that you like. If you wish a whole track run through from this one, if you maybe like this, let me know so I can maybe make a video about it in more detail, showing you what I did on this track. So yeah, but for now, have fun experimenting filter delay. It's a great tool in my opinion, very simple to add some layers, some groove to your existing hi-hats, whether it doesn't really matter if it's custom made hi-hats or also samples, loops, whatever. Yeah, you can spice up any kind of sound, I think, with this simple tool. And if you want more simple tools, I want to point you to my one tool preset pack consisting of 10 Ableton Live presets that you can use to spice up every sound that you like. So yeah, grab it on the link below. It's totally for free. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Have fun.